people of the internet. Welcome back to another YouTube video in which we are modding the original Xbox. Now I know it's been a while since I uploaded anything. I know there's not a lot of people watching me, but anyway, for those of you who care, I'm sorry. Life has been busy. I stopped uploading gameplays and well, yeah, a lot of stuff has been going on personally, privately in my family, and so on. But without further to do, I'm so sorry. Without further to do, uh, let's get right into this. So today we are gonna be modding the original Xbox, like I said, and we're gonna be installing this Aladdin chip, Aladdin XT plus 2, which is actually one of the easiest mod chip installs that I have pretty much seen. I think GameCube has a simpler install, but it's not very difficult. So we're gonna go through step by step how to do it. I'm gonna show you as much as I can. I don't have a perfect camera and perfect anything you will see, but if I could do it with this setup, I'm pretty sure you can do it as well. So my Xbox version is 1.6. I know this by the serial number and by the chip that I have installed in the Xbox. Now you can check that out in the internet browser. You can check the version you have of the Xbox, and depending on which version you have, this mod install will be different. So make sure your console is 1.6 if you want to follow this or do as I do. So first of all, make sure you have that. So second of all, let's see things that we will be using. There's not a lot of things we will be needing here, since like I said, it's pretty simple install. So of course, first of all, we need the modchip itself, and the you will get this pins that are connected like this. Make sure to not move this black piece, because these smaller pins go into the motherboard and these bigger ones will later connect to the chip itself in this black connector, like so. But we I'm sorry, we will do this later. So of course we need the mod chip by itself. We need wires. So I have this pre-cut wires like this. I also have here to show you if you don't have this. For example, I have this from RGB cable from my LEDs, old ones. You can use these cables. It's actually pretty good cable as well. It has pretty strong isolation, you could say. So if you don't have this, I also have this that I can use from my old PS2 mod chip that I have extra, one extra mod chip, and I can just use these wires. So I'm just to show you the options you can do to solder this properly. And going to the soldering, I have this basic soldering tool that is not the best. Trust me, this is not very good. The tip, as you can see, it's not the thinnest, so it's gonna be a little bit difficult on some parts. I know this. I already have done a lot of stuff with this soldering. It's not a machine, but with this soldering tool, so it's possible. And of course you will need a set of some kind of screwdrivers, preferably set like this, or a longer tip. I'm not the tip, the longer handle, because you're gonna need a lot of these Torx. I mean, not a lot, but you're gonna need a Torx, and you're gonna need a Phillips normal screwdriver to remove the next things we need to do. So let me move this stuff out of the way, and the first thing is to flip the console on the other side, like so. And I know it's a little dirty. I got this console like 2 years ago, and I haven't been able to get to it, to mod it, or not 2 years ago, a year and a half ago or something. And I have not been able to get to mod it because, like I said, a lot of stuff has happened. And I have already actually taken out the screws that have to be taken out from the back here, and it's not a lot of screws. If I'm not mistaken, it's only 4 screws, and there should be one here. As you can see, I already cut the hole in the plastic. So one is underneath this plastic, one underneath here, and I'm not sure if it's under the feet. Wait, I need to check this. I will come with you back in a second. Okay, so yeah, I was right. The four screws are under the feet. You have to like untape them. I won't do this now since I already did it, but I can show you, I can try to show you just a little peel and you can see a hole there. So there's gonna be a screw there. I have mine here from a long time ago, since like I said, I got this console very long time ago. I wanted to see the condition it was in, and as you will see later, this console is like never used. I think someone bought it, used it like maybe 2 times, and that's it. So as you can see here, this is a Torx. I was wrong, it's not even a Phillips screwdriver, this is a Torx. So in order to unscrew the back, you need a Torx, which I think I have the right one here. Let me check. Yes, so this is number 15 Torx, number 15, and it's gonna go goodly in your screws. So 1 2 on the other feet, 3 4, and the two I showed before behind this plastic. So one is just above this CE right here, and one is just on this tiny text right here on the top one. So when we unscrew those screws, I will just put mine back here just so I don't lose them, since I have them back here. So once we unscrew those screws, we can turn the console back around like so, and just actually a little bit of, not even wiggling, you can see I'm just going slowly. You just lift it off, it's just like that. So look at this pristine. Has this Xbox ever been used? Please tell me, please just tell me. Or this is unreal how good this looks. Like, look at this, there's no even dust in here, and I got it for 15 or $20, just the console and the controller. So I had to get the AV cable and everything that I wanted for it separately, but still I think it's a pretty good deal for $20. Like, this pristine console, it's wow. um, and literally it's like no dust in here. Look, it's, you can see it's shining like from factory. So since we are inside the console right now, next steps would be to remove also the Torx screws. I think there's four, maybe three. I can remember that there is one here. Let me show you easier. I will turn the console around, so let me make sure I'm not mistaken. So two screws will be located next to the hard drive. This is the excuse me, this is the hard drive, this is the disk drive. So the disk drive on the top here, and on the top here on each corner you will see this golden screw. This is also Torx. You will need to remove those, and if I'm not mistaken, yeah, one is right here under this ribbon cable. So it will be hooked like this on this little notch here. You can just unhook it, lift it, and there will be your Torx screw. So let me go ahead and unscrew those. If you need to know which screw that is, I think this is also size 15 from Torx, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Oh, it is actually not 15. So as you can see, it would be very good if you have like this small toolkit like I do for all kinds of different beats and whatnot. So let's check out this one is perfect. So we have here a Torx 10. So we need a 10 definitely, and 15 definitely. I'll leave those here on the side just so I know that I need it. Just same for the screws, I can stack them here. Also good to have. It comes with extra things. Okay, so I'll unscrew those screws like I showed you. Two here, one here, and I'll come back to you and see what we got. Also a quick tip, just so you know, it would be perfect if your screwdriver was magnetic, because as you can see, these two, like you can see my screwdriver is fully in there. So these two screws are gonna be a big problem to get out. First of all, you'll need to turn around the console. As you can see, it just sticks there. So first of all, you will need to turn around the console to shake the screw out, and when you would need to put it back in, it would be a lot of problems. So I would recommend having the magnetic screwdriver and saving yourself a lot of stress. So let's take out all the screws. Okay, so next step, after we have taken out those three screws, I think if I remember correctly, you can just basically lift this up Oh yeah, okay. So before I lift this up, I will disconnect these two cables, which is the power cable and the connector for the data. So I can just also wiggle this out like left, right, and it will just pop out like this. These cables are pretty old, but this one feels like new. I swear, like everything in this console feels pretty new. So we can also disconnect it directly from the hard drive as well here if we want to, but for now I'll just leave it like so, and also disconnect this one power cable, which will be a little harder for those of you who don't know. So I recommend sometimes there will be like two notches. If you can see, like there's a little notch here and one is on the other side. You can use one side with finger and one side with a screwdriver, because this side is too small for your finger, so I would just recommend wiggling it. Also left, right, so screwdriver, finger, slowly, boom, just pops out like this. We put our screwdriver aside and we pop it out like so. I think it's yes, no, oh yeah, don't forget to get the cable out. So it just goes in these slots. It's not like crazy work. You should figure it out here. So let me just see what is the problem here. Let's just raise it up like so. Okay, it's just a little hard to get out like so. Okay, so our hard disk is out of the bay, and if you wanted to replace one, which I will do probably in the separate video, because I will be upgrading this hard drive with my games and everything, like 2 terabyte hard disk, for which you need SurBIOS and so on, but that will be in the next video. In this video we're just leaving the old hard disk for now and testing the Aladdin mod chip. So let's get into that and put this aside for now. I'm putting it behind me, so sorry for the noises. So as you can see, this cable is going straight from the power. Be careful about this. Do not touch this. This is exposed. You can get electrified if you touch this where you do not want. It's even like warning there. So please be careful with this, okay? We will leave our cable on the side somewhere. Okay, never mind. Like this. And the next part is gonna be taking out the disk drive. So let me see if this, oh, it just also goes out like this. Okay, uh, from the back I'm gonna disconnect the two cables. It's also the power cable. At this point, when I lifted it up, it's easy just to also like go a little wiggle. There's a small cable and also this cable that's connected, so should be no problem. Just wiggle it out like before, boom, it's out. So there's this small power cable which you can just zoop, zoop, no problem. This cable, so take out those two. We are done there. The inside of console again, it's there is a little dust or something there in the corner. You can't even really see it, but like I think that's just from sitting for a long time. I don't think it's from anything else. And like, of course, if you didn't know, every motherboard has a signature. I will try to make this image clearer. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It took me so long. So you can see some kind of signature there. Every motherboard will have this. They used to do this, so I think in the where they made it factory, people know, oh, this is from this guy. If it's not working, he gets fired. Well, not literally, but something like this. So okay, never mind with that. Let's go to the next steps. We will take out the motherboard. We will leave the power inside. So in order to take it out, best thing to do is unplug all the cables, of course, from the motherboard. So I think that's what we will do first. And we have this small power cable which is connected here in the back. You can also just, like always, wiggle it out. It just comes out like this. Set it aside. Big one, same principle. I don't know if it has the razors. No, it just connected right straight to there. Okay, sometimes they have a lock which you need to pull out from the sides here, like a little plastic piece, and then pull it out, but this one doesn't. Make sure you know which way this goes in. So this part goes in here and this one goes on top. So also I will be replacing this cable when I'm upgrading my hard drive, and this is not gonna be a good one because I'm not sure how many pins this one has, but it's not enough. We need bigger one, 27-inch if I'm not mistaken. Don't take me for my word. Like I said, in the next video we will be doing that, but keep that cable there for now. So unplug the motherboard, the main power for motherboard, which is here. So this is pretty much looking like a small PC, old PC. If you know old PCs, they used to have a lot of similar cables like this. So this one is a little hard. It has a little notch right here which you need to press and then like wiggle out. This one might be a little hard, so don't be afraid to like a little jank on it a little harder. There we go, because it's pretty thick cable, you know. Okay, this one is unplugged. Right here in the front we will have these ports for the controllers and ports for the power. No, this is for controllers, and this, yeah, both for the controllers. So we need to unplug right here one cable. Also just little wiggle out, I think should do it. Let me make sure that I'm right. Yep, just a little from each side and you can just unplug it. Same with this side. So we take the power and we take the ports. Right, I'm trying. There we go. So every cable is pretty much out from the motherboard except the CPU. I can see right here, you can see it. Also, as you can see, there's no dust on this thing. Look at this, it's like brand new, like I bought it from factory. So you can go ahead, and also I think if you just grab it a little bit by the cable like so, a little harder, and also a little wiggle, should be no problem. You don't have to worry about breaking it. So when we take out all the cables, you will basically see all the screws. I think I don't like need to show you, but you can see like the golden screws, like here, 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 like everything you can see. Take it out. You can see the split here, from which is the power and the motherboard. So don't unscrew those screws. Just take out those from here. So I will do those. I think this is also Torx 10, so it should be no problem. Yeah. So you only need Torx 10 and 15 for this, I think. So let's get into the bottom part and take out the motherboard. I will unscrew those and I will be back with you. Okay, with successfully removing all the screws. As you can see, here's my tray for the screws. Like I said, it's pretty useful for all things. These screws are pretty much the same except the big ones. They are 15, Torx 15, these are Torx 10. You can mix them all together, but I just separated these three from the top, from the hard disk and this drive, and this from the motherboard. It really doesn't matter, but you can do that. So once everything is out, simply I think you can grab it right here, raise it from the back. So there's our cooler, we want to raise it like so, and then we can pull it out because these ports here from the AV and is this internet? Yep, from the internet, they are like inside, so you need to like do so, push it a little out, as you can see, a little wiggle maybe. There we go, and we can, let's move our cables out of the way. They got stuck in the motherboard. Wow. And boom, our motherboard is out. Here we go. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I know by the chip that mine is 1.6. So as you can see right here in the top, you can't see really much very good, but it's Excalibur chip right here, a big X, and it says Excalibur. So by this chip I know it's 1.6. Also by these plastic, a lot of things here. My holes for my pins are open. On some motherboards they are closed, but as you can see, you can see through them maybe from the camera. Let me try. No, not really, but they are actually open. So we will be needing this section right here for our pins that I showed you in the beginning. So the smaller port of the pins will go in the motherboard, and the big one on the top. So but before we get to that, I will move everything out of the way first, and I want to show you one more quick thing that I did before. I didn't show you, I wanted to wait. But before we do anything on the motherboard, we need to do one simple thing on the chip that I already did. I didn't show you, but I will show you now that it is done. We basically need to use a little tiny cable and to connect this port, which is BT and we can connect it up here on the corner. Let me try to show you. I'll try to make the camera a little bit nicer, right? Okay, there we go. So as you can see, this third spot, let me use my screwdriver for showing. This third one, the third trail from the beginning is the BT. So I soldered that on that spot, and I went here on the corner of this hole. You can go on the top of here, I think, or the other one, but I just went here. So you need a little tiny wire which connects those two. So make sure you have that done, because I don't think the chip will work if you don't do it. So first and foremost, solder those 2 points. I'll show it one more time a little closer if I can. Not really. You can see. Okay, so that's the only thing we need to solder on the chip. The other thing we need to do is mainly on the motherboard. So for that, I think I'll have the uh, how is that even called, shim or shame, I don't know, on the screen in which you can see where the wires go. There's only 5 wires we need, like 5 spots to connect, so it shouldn't be pretty crazy, but I will leave the image on the screen so you can see which connection points you need to do. And keep in mind again, this is for the 1.6 motherboard, so not everyone will have the same. Let me clean out the mess. I will put the image on the screen for you, and yeah, we can almost get soldering. I need to warm up my solder tool and I will be back with you. Okay, for this next part I would recommend having some tape, because we will be placing, like I said, this little pins in the motherboard, and we will need to solder it on the other side. And for the pins to sit properly, I will use tape to hold it in place. I will show you how in just a second. Nothing crazy, but first of all, you want to make sure that the pins are correctly in the correct slots. So it's not that hard. All you need to do is take the pins and look where this arrow is. You can see I have this small white arrow on the first pin. So where that arrow starts, that's where you start with your pins. So we just insert them like so, boom. And as you can see, they sit in there. We have 3 up there, or 4, but 2 rows. And as you can see, it's pretty wiggly, so we want to keep that in place. Nothing crazy. You can tape any electrical tape mostly, or pretty much any tape, but I'll take this that I have. A piece like this should be enough, even smaller maybe. Break it off, and we'll just nothing too crazy, just so it stays in place like so, and boom. Okay, so right now it's gonna stay there, and if we turn it around, we can see the tips of those pins up here. And this is gonna be the easier part. I think we need to solder all those points to every hole in which the pin got out. So everywhere where the pin is on the other side, we need to solder those points, and that's gonna be our first part for this mod chip. So I'll go ahead and do that. I would love to show you, but as you can see, my camera cannot have the good zoom, so I'll solder those, and I'll try to show you the result after that. So I'll be back with you when this is finished. Also, I forgot to tell you, you should have some kind of a flux. This one is pretty old, as you can see. It helped me in a lot of cases, but mostly any flux will do. But the better the quality, the better the project. So flux, you need that. We will need to put it on all of the pins. I will use like some kind of a tip, put it out here, and then we can solder it, and it should be good. Okay, there we go. I think I'm done with the first step. I'll get a close-up, and just so you can see how it looks, I will do a little more look through this. If how do I say this? I'm sorry. I will take a look through this solders one more time, just to see that everything is connected good and that I'm happy with my solder. But just for now, as a result, you can see some of them are a little bigger, some of them are a little smaller, but Every point should be connected. There's still some flux. I will clean that and make sure that there is no bridges between the points. Make sure that every connection is connected separately. So pretty much nothing crazy at this part. Like I said, all I did was had my solder, I went a little closer to each point, added a little bit and fixed it and so on. It's pretty much just go with the flow and go slow. I don't know how to tell you otherwise, but for now we have done this. I will clean this and see if my points are good, and if they are, I will go to the next step, which is rebuilding the PCB, or you can say rebuilding our database. So we need to connect those 5 wires after that. Let me go ahead and clean this and do that. I will be back with you in a second. Okay guys, so we are at this point where I need to solder the wires to the board, and as you can see by the image provided on the screen here, there is 5 wires that we need for points, or in this case I think it's even more. One, two, no, it's five. It's 5 points, and they should be pretty easy to do, I think. Nothing too crazy. There's a little one that is pretty small. You can see it. The first one, it's tiny cable. That can be a little problem maybe, but you can just put a little wire there. You don't even need isolation. Just like bridge those two together. And sorry that I cannot show you the process of me welding this or soldering this, because like I said, my camera is not gonna be good enough for me to show you this, and I will try to do my best. I'm just showcasing with the homemade tools, you can say. Like, you look at my soldering iron, it's like not even professional or nothing, but if I will be able to do it, we will see in the end. Then you can do it, you know what I mean? So like I said, it's nothing too crazy. 5 wires should be pretty basic, and I will get ahead and solder those 5 wires and get back to you as soon as I am done. Okay, welcome back. Sorry about my light holder. I had it like my phone sitting here. A light would be preferable. I forgot to mention that. So a light, and I could see my solders. I am done with the 5 wires, and I think I'm pretty okay and satisfied with my soldering. I could have done a better job, of course, and I think you can do 1,000 times more better job if you take a little time, but it took me like 40 minutes maximum, and I didn't like hurry or nothing. So if I took a little more time, I could have made it even more pretty. So if something doesn't work or doesn't check out, I can always come back and solder something, fix something. But as I took a look at everything, nothing is bridged, nothing is connected, everything is good, secure. Oh, this light is not really helping. So at the end it looks something like this. I'm sorry, something like this, a little mess. Like I said, it's nothing too crazy. You can do a lot better job. There is this tiny wire that I was talking about. You can't even see it. It's under there, under this cable, the tiniest connection. It wasn't even that scary like I thought. So this didn't take long at all, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the result. And at this point, I think there's only one more thing we need to do, and that is to cut a little wire on the other side of this motherboard, because it's gonna make our Xbox life last longer. I'm not sure, I forgot the exact reason, but I just know that it will make sure that the Xbox doesn't die out soon, or it will make its life a lot longer. So right here on the other side, we are back here. We can remove this tape now, like so. We can throw it away, we don't need it anymore, and we can see it's firmly in there, nicely done, good. On this side you don't even see the difference. Some of you may be wondering if I will be cleaning this thermal paste and everything. Not in this video. In the one that I will be installing a better hard drive, that's when I will be cleaning everything and making everything look nice. Since I don't have everything now, at this point I would be just doing this modchip right now. So later in the other video, when I will be installing the HDD, I will change the thermal paste and everything. As you can see, it's nothing too crazy to take it apart. You just lift up these handles. Sometimes you need to unhinge it here. I would recommend using fingers because it can break off when these are pretty old. And same here, you have to like pull it out a little bit with finger, lift it. Sometimes it's hard, you have to like get it hard. Also recommend using hand, and it's gonna be pretty much stuck there probably, but in the other video, not for this one. Sorry for yapping so much. So the next thing we need to do is find our chip, the one I mentioned in the beginning, which is Excalibur for me. So a lot of you, is it Excalibur? I think it's called Excalibur, don't take my word for it, but you need to find this chip, and I will try to show you the exact position. Let me just try and get the camera down here so I can show you the exact position where we need to find this point, and we need to cut the trace. So between 2 points we will need to cut it. We can use something like scissors or something, you know, just take the top of scissors and literally just scrape the connection. I will show you which point right now. Give me a second. So I managed to get a photo of this exact place where we need to do this. So let me just disconnect my soldering iron. It's warming up here for no reason. I just feel something warm on my hand and I'm like, whoa, why is this? I'm so sorry that I'm doing this. Okay, so if we take a look at the motherboard, my current position, the place where this would be, if your motherboard is facing this way, it would be under the chip. So if I'm reading the chip name, the name should be like so. So you can see this logo is straight up, so right under the chip, you know, if your motherboard is like this, right in this corner right here on the right corner. So we will find this spot like I have here. So little trace, this red line, we need to cut that trace and use our scissors or something and just scrape it away. Again, I can't show you up close, this is the best I can do. Hope you understand what I mean. Okay, basically I'm done, but I cannot show you the way it turned out because this is so small. I don't know, it would require a microscope literally, but just scrape away until you see the golden line or the connection is no longer visible, like you can see the split in it. So that's how long I would go, and that's how long I think you should go. So I think this is pretty much done. The last thing we need to do is put our mod chip inside inside our spot. Let me just clean up a little and I'll be back with you. Okay, so quickly before I clean everything and put everything in place, I will make sure that it's actually working. And like I said, we need to connect the chip now. So the easiest way I think to know how it goes is basically you have this barcode right here, or code, or and this black connector. So the chip needs to go like this, not like this, not on this side, not this part or crossing with the connector. We need it on this side, so it is facing back there and back at the console. So make sure you actually get the right holes in every pin. You can miss those and not gonna be good, I think. So just make sure that you get in the right holes, fully in there, completely. And once we are done, the chip should just be like this, connected in there, and it should work from there. From now we need to plug in everything and see if it will work. We don't need to put everything completely intact, but I will see if I will do that, and we'll be checking out if it works. I'll be back with you in a second. The better picture. So D0, you need to connect it to this plate. The reason, because the chip will not work basically, so you need to connect this D0 point to this plate. That is the 6th and last cable, and when you're connected, I have everything here just connected just for testing, and it's not all screwed up in here. You can see the Aladdin chip is working, it is flashing yellow. That only means the power is working, not the chip itself. So let me quickly switch my output here. 1 second. Okay, and we will reset the console right here. So if we get the Evo X logo in the corner here, we should be good. Oh, I didn't start it, I just turned it off. Okay, so we can now, boom, perfect, nice. As we can see, Evo X logo is right there, so that means we have successfully installed the Aladdin chip, which is very good, very nice. We're here in the settings. I don't have a controller, it's down there, but we're here in settings and everything seems to be working fine, so that is a good thing to know. Okay, everybody, and I'm just in the process of screwing everything back together. Motherboard is secure right now. Good thing to know, if you don't know how many screws you need to use, you only need to have 3 left for the hard disk and for the disk drive. So every screw goes in the motherboard except 3 screws. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped you in any kind of way. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I will be glad to help. And that's pretty much it. I think anyone could do this mod chip, because if I was able to do it at home here alone with this not so good tools and nothing so good, I think everyone can do it. And it's a lot easier than the PS2 mod or something like this. So like I said, feel free to ask anything, and thank you all so much for watching. Have a nice day and enjoy your life. Peace.